The Subway 400 on Fox is brought to you by Beechwood Aged Budweiser with a crisp, clean, and refreshing taste, known only to the king of beers.
The caution is out here at Rockingham in the Subway 400, and bad news for Jeff Gordon. Look from Elliott Sadler's in-car cam as Gordon slides into his pit, wrong way in.
Man, I looked down and I saw him backing up. I couldn't figure out what happened. All that working his way up to getting the top 10 there, and now it's all for naught.
Now what happened here, though, Elliott Sadler is a lap down. Cars that are lap down are supposed to wait to the second time, but what NASCAR called was a quickie caution. The racetrack was not in trouble. All they were trying to do is get Michael Waltrip's car off pit road. When they call quickie caution, everybody can pit, whether you're on the lead lap or a lap down or better.
And I bet Gordon wasn't expecting anybody to be in that pit box.
And the wrecker, big teeth of that new International on that grill, and he's been pushed back to the garage area. As you look from his back bumper cam, Michael Waltrip getting pushed into the garage. So a look at the pit summary from that caution flag stop. Jeff Green lost 3 spots, Sterling Marlin 1.
That's the key,
and Jeff Gordon lost 15 positions on that.
Well, the difference is he was up in the 7th or 8th place. Now he's at the back of the pack. So,
and what we have here, where you came in, where you went out, the actual stop and pit road time is from where you came on the pit road, including the stop, all the way to the exit, and you see the difference there, about 30 seconds.
Matt?
And Mike, I'm down here in the 36th pit with crew chief Newt Moore. Newt, first off, you made a lot of stops on the previous caution to fix that valence. How's the race car now?
Well, we broke the nose skirt off, and that hurt us right at the start, so it made us tight. Front end was sliding, and we got that fixed, loosened it up. Now we got the nose skirt fixed up, and M&M's Pontiac's pretty good right there. He was all caught up in a bunch of traffic, so really couldn't go. We made another adjustment, did some 2 tires just to get some track position and try to get back up there where we, car's good. We'll see.
Further up pit road, Rusty Wallace only took on 4 tires, no adjustments, although the car was a little tight in the center of the corner. They borrowed the front tire changer from Dale Jarrett's car, Mike Trower, so Billy Wilburn can stay on top of the pit box.
Matt Kenseth will lead them down for this restart. Jeff Green, Sterling Marlin, Ricky Rudd, Ricky Craven are the top 5. Jeff Gordon will restart 21st of 22 cars on the lead lap.
Matt Kenseth trying to clear that lap car. Mark Martin, his teammate in the 6th car.
just remember, cautions breed cautions. That's all I know. Buddy, you got to hold your breath here for a few laps.
Leaders picking through lap traffic that includes Mark Martin, Jimmy Johnson, Dave Blaney, and Elliott Sadler. To Dick Berggren.
Matt Kenseth had a flawless pit stop that time, Mike, and there was absolutely no conversation about whether or not he was going to pit. In the past yellow flag, Kenseth thought maybe it'd be a good idea to stay out. He was in the lead. He didn't want to lose that, but Reiser made sure he came in. Kenseth saw the advantage of fresh tires, and he decided himself, let's make this pit stop. To Steve.
Crew Chief Tommy Baldwin for Ward Burton. Tommy, you guys have been off and on pit road 6-7 times. Tell us about the damage to the car.
Something's still wrong with it. I don't know. We put on a set of tires after taking the lead there, and the car bottomed out once, and he hit the wall and messed up the suspension. But hopefully we get a couple more cautions to get to work on this cat Dodge. It's a shame too. We had a good race car all weekend, and getting ready to race the last half of the race here. But I don't know if we're going to get to it.
Also, guys, Sterling Marlin was on pit road, took 4 tires, no chassis adjustments.
Seems like Ward has his most problems on the restarts. The car just takes off. Goes down in turn 1, just takes off, goes up, hits the wall.
Matt Kenseth, 3/4 of a second up to the lead as we close in on halfway. Sixth place battle.
Call a gaggle of cars. All gaggled up.
Tony Stewart in the 20, Rusty Wallace in the 2. They've been battling each other, I think, for about 180 laps. Johnny Benson in the 10 car, remember earlier, thought he had a flat left rear, lost a lot of ground. Now he's back up there in the 7th position.
They tested here, so you'd think, you know, I know they worked hard on race setup. think he'd be good for the race.
I think he and James Ince together have not finished worse than 10th here. Jeannie?
Well, guys, I'm here with Michael Waltrip on the wrong side of the wall. What happened out there?
Something happened to the engine. We're not quite sure yet. It's a disappointing day. Bobby Labonte swerved up in front of me, and I hit him early in the race and bent my fender. And then missed that huge wreck on the backstretch, shot right through the middle of that, so that was cool. Then right after that, the engine messed up, and we're not really sure right now exactly what might have happened to it.
You made some comment on the radio coming in that Jeff Green owes you one. What was that in reference to?
It's my 500th start, and I can't win it. And he's my high school buddy. We went to high school together and grew up together. And since I can't win, he owes me a win. I want him to go out there and win this race. Brian Scheimer, Todd Hayes, and those guys last night in the four-man bobsled. And that was inspirational watching Brian win after so long. Congratulations to Jeffrey Bodine and everybody on the American four-man bobsled team last night. Today was set up to be a fun day. We had a good car. I think we were going to run well, and we just messed it up from the start.
Congratulations on the 500th start nonetheless. Memorable, though, for all the wrong reasons.
Michael Waltrip's 500th start. Commemorative shirts and hats and a piece of the rock.
I made my 500 start in 1990. It's 12 years ago.
I don't know if I'd have towed that one.
Well, I just thought of it.
Jeff Gordon has had a day, like the NASDAQ of late. You know, he started 33rd. He climbed up into the top 10. Got up to 10th. Got himself back to 22nd on this restart and is now 18th.
But I know it's a lot easier said than done, but I think they have to go back to the original strategy at the beginning of the race. Let's take them one at a time. We still have almost 200 laps to go. We can still get back there.
Well, he can, and he's just been really, really cautious. I kind of keep one eye on him, and he's not forcing himself. You're not forcing the issue at all.
Ricky Craven started on the pole. Led a good part of this race, drifted back as far as 8th place, but he's a top 5 car. Runs in 5th right now. Michael Waltrip credited Jeffrey Bodine for the U.S. bobsled team's fortunes in Salt Lake City. It was about a dozen years ago when Bodine watched the Winter Olympics and said, those bobsled drivers, they need somebody who can handle the G-forces. I want to try that. Yeah. And so he got a ride in a bobsled, and he learned 2 things. 1, it's harder than it looks. And 2, the team was using cast-off equipment that the Germans and Swiss had designed years before. So he and Bob Cuneo from Connecticut, Chassis Dynamics, Don Barker, that whole group, funded and designed new bobsleds for the U.S. team. And now that whole program's come to fruition. The 2 men, women with a gold, and the 4-man team with silver and bronze. And Jeff's got to be, I think he's happier about that than finishing 3rd in last week's Daytona 500.
I'm not sure about that, but maybe. I'll give you credit for that.
So he gets a bronze, they get a gold, a silver, and a bronze. Yeah. Pretty good 10 days.
Boy, that Jeff Green in that 30 car down in the middle of 3 and 4, he was able to get back to the throttle. The car took it. He made a big gain on Matt Kenseth right there. For the last 3 or 4 laps, they had ran about the same lap times, but boy, he made a big gain in 3 and 4.
3 and 4, your line 1 and 2.
Yeah, the 22 car off of turn 4 there, it just can't. The car's all beat up. He's been in the wall 2 or 3 times, and I think that Gordon ran up on him, and I don't know if they hit or not, but if they didn't, they came awfully close to each other.
Let's have a look here.
Here they
Was
come.
there contact? Yeah.
Yeah, there is.
And a second contact.
I guess Jeff is saying, hey, if you're going to get up here, old buddy, how about going on?
Up front, Jeff Green goes right after Matt Kenseth.
He's working the bottom of 3 and 4. Matt Kenseth just gets a little better bite off that corner coming off turn 4. Holds him down the front straightaway. Matt Kenseth goes back to the bottom here in 1 and 2. Jeff Green in the 30 back to the top.
These old boys have raced each other a little bit in the Busch Series, and so they know each other pretty well.
Look at the miles per hour there. Look at, I mean, it looks like they're on 2 different racetracks right there.
And they come off side by side. Go in, they get a big gap in between them, and side by side down the straightaway.
There you see it. Matt Kenseth's about 3 miles an hour faster than Jeff Green going down the front stretch. Let's see what happens going down the back stretch now. Coming off turn 2. Over 150 miles an hour.
Way all alone. Inside all by himself.
And Green took it in a little deeper and faster, as you see there, by 2 miles an hour, and completes the pass for the lead.
And that's where he's been better, is 3 and 4. The last 10 laps, that's where he's been better than Matt Kenseth.
He put the slide job on him. He got down there and he slid her right up in front of him, took his line away, and he's off to the races.
So Jeff Green is back in command at 202 laps. Just a little past halfway in the Subway 400. Matt Kenseth, Sterling Marlin, Ricky Rudd, and Ricky Craven are the front 5.